Great day, great day, great day. It's me. It's me. Happy Thursday, guys. We're on episode 8. 8. I think it's 8. It's 8. It's most definitely 8. Gotta pay attention. So we're on episode 8, guys. I'm wearing my t-shirt. You've seen the hoodie. This is the t-shirt. So I have these two. So, boom. So, let's talk. So last week I talked about my eye surgery and stuff like that, and like the process of what happened afterwards and the awakening that came from it. So I've always saying, oh my hair. I'm always saying on my TikTok how, a lot's transpired over the last couple of months, and I really haven't talked about my hair is really not cooperating. Or is it the angle? Anyways, this is uncut. So it is what it is. So yeah, we talked about that, and I keep saying that a lot's transpired, and things that I haven't talked about. And I could talk about it now. All right. So let's talk about, oh, my hair is really irritating me. Let's talk about my testimony. Ready? Let's do it. I would have to say the start of it would begin about end of 2020. End of 2020, it was like a lot of up and down going on. I got into a car accident, lost my car. In the process, there was a lot going on with that. I got promoted to being a supervisor working from home, and it was like a lot of different things were going on. Like, I was about to be blocked from my promotion. Then I was dealing with the car accident thing. And then, with me dealing with the kidney failure, it was like a lot going on. I had they call it a TIA. I had a TIA one day when I was getting ready for work. By this time, I lived by myself. And I want to say it happened, it was twice. And it was consistently stuff going on. And then lost that job, right? Lost that job, and then, no, excuse me, go back. I lost my apartment, then lost my job. And then it was like a lot. It was a lot. Like, I lost that job, got another one, and it wasn't really what I wanted, but it was an interesting journey. I wasn't in management anymore, but I was doing something, and I went from being salaried to going hourly. So it was a major, huge pay cut. I want to say it was about a 70% decrease in my pay. And then it was like I got sick again, dealing with issues with my eye. This is when the eye pain started happening, and it got really crucial. At one point, we had thought I had another stroke, and it was just a lot. And I was in the hospital because we couldn't figure out why I was sick, why I was throwing up, what was going on with the eye pain, like not holding food down. Like, it was just so many ups and downs. Health was really just, it would be like a good moment and a bad moment. And it was a lot trying to balance out things on my own. Even with the support system, you can still be dealing with stuff alone. Also in the process, it was like, my family's not the most perfect family in the world, but it's been a rough time. In that process as well, my grandfather had passed away as well. So it was a lot of changes and transitions and challenges going on. It was like, if it wasn't one thing, it was another thing. Then it was at one moment we were working on a kidney list, and it was like, couldn't do it because I wasn't meeting the metrics that they needed. And then I had an issue with my arm, like I want to say it was just before my grandfather had passed away. I had an issue with my infiltration of my arm in my port, and they had to put a catheter in my chest because they couldn't use this arm anymore, and they had to replace it with another thing. So it was like back to back to back was a lot of back-to-back stuff, like, and it was like through it all, it was like I was still encouraging people. Like, I would be in the hospital bed still encouraging people. I would be sitting there, like, going through being broke and still encouraging other people, saying God was going to bless you. Like, it was a lot of stuff going on, but I still kept my faith. Like, I ended up moving to Dallas. In that process, it was beautiful, but it was also a lot of rough moments as well. And it really got to a point where I was like, I am tired of going through. I had been tired of fighting my car accident case because it was like they were trying to lowball me. And it was like I lost a lot in that process. And they were trying to let me leave with only a couple of dollars. And that wasn't going to work. I was tired of fighting. I was really tired of fighting. I was tired of fighting loneliness, tired of fighting family, tired of fighting my health. I was just over everything. And I'm like, you know, at one point it was like, okay, God, like, you keep telling me to trust the process. You keep telling people to tell me to trust the process. You keep showing me visions of things because that's my gift. My gift is sight. I kept seeing things like, God, I see what you're showing, but everything around me is contrary to what you're showing me. Everything that you're showing me, and I'm looking around me, and it's like, what is this? Like, this can't be, like, this can't be signs of I'm about to, well, to me, I'm like, this can't be the signs of you turning it around. This can't be the signs of breakthrough. Like, these are signs of you're just done with me. And it's crazy. Even if my moments of me asking God, are you really done with me? Like, are you, like, I really felt like God was angry at me and punishing me. And yeah, like, that's really how I felt. And I didn't understand, like, God was teaching me to trust him more, you know? So at one point, I ended up moving back to Atlanta. So moved to Atlanta thinking that I could settle my case. You know, we were on the right path and I thought I was about to be done and over with. Talked to a lawyer and that wasn't the case. No, they're like, you got to hold on a little longer. I don't have longer. I had just moved back and it's like, I literally, what nobody knows is I literally came back to Atlanta with $20 to my name. That's all I had. $20 with no place to stay, no car, no job. Still having to go to dialysis. Like, it's one thing, like, you have to understand, it's like dealing with dialysis, like, I can't just go off the grid. There's no such thing as that. I can't just go hop anywhere. Like, my health is my priority. Like, dialysis literally and dialysis is at the forefront of my life. It is my physical life source. So it's like I can't just not go to treatment, right? Right. So nobody knew what was going on. I didn't tell anybody but like one person or two people. And it was just a lot because like I was really like I don't want to ask for help because I felt like I was grown and I needed to figure it out myself. So I ended up in the process, I ended up checking into a homeless shelter, right? A lot of people do not know this. So if this is your first time hearing this, surprise. 'Cause a lot of people try to figure out like why I just went off the grid and then I stopped talking to a lot of people because I really had to figure out things for myself, which was a beautiful journey for me. And I was in a homeless shelter for about 3 days. And like literally nobody knew. I think only one family member only one family member knew. Like I told her and that was it. And I kept it to myself. And then eventually I knew my mother was going to start asking questions like, where are you? Or we're doing this weekend. Why can't you come over? And I had to tell her where I was. So in that process of telling her where I was, she ended up saying, okay, you know, I got to figure something out and then I'll call you back. And it took her about a day. It took about a day or two. And then eventually she was like, I'm coming to get you. It's like, cool. So, yeah, so I ended up, she was busy today, so I ended up taking a lift to my mom's house. Cool. And I had to, yeah, go through that. Move back home from the shelter, and it was a process of building my health back up. Getting back started with doctors, and really getting back settled in a place I didn't want to call home, which was Atlanta. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to be back in Dallas. But it was like, other than a few very special people, and I say few, like very few, a few special people, maybe more than a few, maybe more than a few, like, yeah, more than a few, yeah, yeah, I gotta count aunties too, more than a few people, but it was like it was stuff that was there for me, people that were there, but to be honest, I figured that I had to become a better me in certain areas before I could be better somewhere else. All right. So, remember, health is pretty much a shit show. Finances, like what money? Like like if somebody gave me a penny, that was a lot. Um, yeah, like you never know the struggle until it's just like you gotta reach out just to get like $15 for food. Like that's how bad it was. But nobody knew. I was still making videos. I was still smart. Well, actually, no, backtrack. I I thank God for my circle, because my circle, who I started telling what was going on, really built me and lifted me up. And this is what I love to do. And I stopped doing it. I stopped doing my TikToks. And I'm like, God, how do I get on here and do these? And I look a mess. I look rough. Like my beard was a mess. I look like a werewolf. Hair was a mess. Hair was uneven. Like I was terrible. I was red, bloodshot. Like I really was keeping it close. It was a mess. Like I was a mess. And I got back to doing my TikToks. I started doing my post again, and I kept saying, okay, God, you called me to do this. No matter what it looked like, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to show you how much I trust you. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to do this. No matter how many times, like, I wanted to take my own life, I kept saying, okay, God, I don't want to be here no more. And God just like, no, keep pushing, keep pushing. And a lot of people don't know this. I shared it today. For the first time. But a lot of people don't even know, like, it was plenty of nights where I didn't want to be here no more. You know, I'd been down the road like 2 or 3 times before, but I didn't want to be here anymore. And a couple of times in particular, I was really like, pill bottles in my hand, like knife in my hand, like ready to go. And I would get a phone call, or I would get a text with a TikTok encouraging me from people that I love and care about, that I knew loved and cared about me. And the thing about it was, the enemy was making me feel like those people didn't love me and care about me. We'll go back to that one day. And I just kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. And around the time of my birthday, I made the decision. I was like, I'd had another meeting with my lawyers for my settlement. I was like, this is it. God's going to open this door. Da-da-da-da. Like, I'm just sitting here like, this is about to be it. And went in and they played in my face. And I left so discouraged and so beat up and so tired. And I knew my birthday was in a couple of weeks. And I thought it was like, okay, I might have had this meeting. God's about to bless me just for my birthday. And I didn't realize I got a door slammed in my face because God told me I was knocking at the wrong door the whole time. Like, I was banking on this money. I was banking on it. But the thing about it was, I wasn't banking on God. I was betting on money. I wasn't betting on God. So I made the decision, God, I'm here. I just need to be in your presence. Not watching service online for my birthday. All I wanted to do was go to church. And I went to church, and the pastor was preaching, and he spoke directly, and the bishop was speaking into my situation. And my pastor always talks and speaks life, and he always speaks to my situations. but this time I need to be in person. So went to church, Bishop preached, and he talked about finances and health and stuff. And I left everything on the floor in that moment. I shouted, I cried, and I danced. I literally danced with my phone off, okay? Like, my phone was off. I didn't have no money, but I was still trusting God and said, okay, God, like, it's my birthday, and I may not have nothing, but I still have you. So if I don't have nothing else but him, I said, I'm good, right? So left, and the next day, my phone got turned on, right? Then later on that week, right, I got a call from my social worker saying that my disability that I applied for back in June of last year was approved. And not only was it approved, I was going to get back pay from almost like a year and a half, close to 2 years. And I was like, okay, God, like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, the bishop kept saying, like, money was going to come out of nowhere, and it started coming out of nowhere, right? So, start getting disability. I start getting my back pay, right? I was able to catch up on things. I was able to, like, I had a procedure I needed to pay for. I was able to pay for my procedure. I had eye surgery coming up. I had prepared for the eye surgery. And everything was building me up to that day I had my surgery. And God was molding me first. And God kept saying bigger, bigger, bigger. And I just kept trusting God because I'm like, okay, God, I'm in a better place financially, but I was staying focused and I stayed committed to God, right? So, finances, right? So, next part is eye surgery. Eye surgery was rough, and I just kept saying, okay, God, like, this is rough, lose eye, scary. My surgery was supposed to be an hour. It was supposed to be an hour. My surgery lasted 4.5 hours, right? So we're all confused. Like, I was in there all day for a procedure supposed to be in and out, right? But little complications, she fixed it, and here we are, right? So let's go to January. Getting that urge. I gotta go to church. Go to church, right? Bishop speaks again. And he says, to the section that I'm in, and he says, you're going to get paid for that car accident. And I lost it. Because nobody in this building knows me, right? Other than a greeter that remembers my face, right? So, that week, talking to my lawyer, and he's just like, hey, just checking in with you. And I heard God sit there and say, go ahead and settle. Negotiate and keep talking and keep going till I tell you it's enough. And I said, okay, cool. And he said, keep pushing till I tell you to stop. I said, cool. So I settled in 24 hours, right? Settled in 24 hours, and I walked away with what they wanted the total settlement to be. So total settlement before taking out the medical bills and stuff, I walked away with what they kept trying to give me before. I walked away with more because it's hard to explain because I'm not going to say the amount but I walked away and I was able to get a new car. Well, not a brand new car, but I was getting a new car for me. I got a 2020 Nissan Altima, right? Got an Altima. I got a Georgia license. So in that process, I said, okay, God, I'm going to keep trusting you. I decided to transition into my YouTube channel. Now, mind you, before all this, I started working on everything God told me to work on. And I'm like, God, you're telling me to do this. I have the finances for it. God said, trust me. Trusted him. And Jewels for Crowns channel began. With my settlement, I got my car. I was able to purchase my t-shirts and my hoodies. I was able to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I'm still doing a lot of things I wanted to do. I started my new job last week, and I didn't want, I said, how am I going to get a job, right? How am I going to get a job? I want to be in management. I don't want to be the lowest person on the totem pole. It's like, I'm a developer. I'm a supervisor at heart. And I was like, nobody wants to hire a part-time supervisor. So I got a job where I am in customer service and I'm handling operations, but I'm part-time. I wanted something to supplement my disability, and it worked, right? So I am grateful because I kept saying this is personal. Like, the job wasn't about how much money I made. It was just about something to supplement, So I wouldn't have to really touch my disability all the time. Disability was for bills and still save. But I wanted something just to put in my pocket so I can go and have, invest in myself, but still have time to enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? And I'm helping. I'm not a manager, but I'm in a position to where I'm doing what I was doing when I was a supervisor, working part-time. And I love what I do. I'm helping people. I am going to have opportunities to develop people again. And like a year ago, I'm having a conversation and I was talking to Jeremiah and Kapion. And I told them, I said, I don't feel like I'm going to live to see my settlement. I'm not going to live to see the other side of this. And I felt like the other side of this was me passing away. That's really what I thought, right? I really thought that last year I thought that the end was my end. Not realizing that what I thought was the end was really the beginning. So to go from a year ago to today, not having nothing to my name, I drive my car to work. I had a successful eye surgery. Crappy recovery, but I recovered. I'm about to get my new eye soon, right? I'm getting ready to host my friends coming to visit me for the first time. I get to go see my godsons in a couple of months, right? And I used to be ashamed. I used to be ashamed of where I was, but my friends never made me feel like I was less than. Some people did behind my back, but they weren't my friends anyway. But my friends really stuck beside me. And I'm so grateful because I said in my prayer this morning, I was like, God, just thank you. God, thank you. Just God, I thank you for you being who you are. God, I thank you for all the times I loosened my grip and you held my hand tighter. I told God, thank you so much for trusting me to be a walking answered prayer. Like, not only am I walking in, it's one thing because I know my friends prayed for this for me. They prayed for me to get what I was praying for. But I made a petition to God on what I wanted, and God gave me what I wanted. So I'm a walking answered prayer. I'm walking in what I prayed for. I'm walking in what I asked God for. Thank God my friends support me, but it's like, it's, they don't even know all the prayers I prayed. Like, I'm literally a walking answered prayer. And I'm grateful. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, everything I spoke that I wanted, I've gotten. And the best part about it is, God's not done. This is a small piece of my testimony. Just wait until I get my kidney. Like, God has me on the path to freedom. And God, in order for him to put me on this path, to appreciate this testimony, and I know that's why God had me wait. I wouldn't have appreciated this a year ago. I wouldn't have appreciated this in 2020. I have more appreciation for this testimony than you can think of. I was talking earlier today, and I've been talking to my close friends, and everybody has just been like amazed. And It's one thing, my best friend Chloe, like, she see me at my worst. She see me at my lowest. And for her to say how proud of me she was meant the world to me, because she's seen how far God has brought me. To get to this place is not been easy. But again, I am a walking testimony. I am a walking testimony. And there's more to come. There's more to talk about. But I can say these things now and say where I am in my life right now. A lot of new things are taking place, but God set me up for success and put me in a position to where it's like I had to make choices and had to make some hard choices, but I chose the route God told me to go in, you know? So I went to church again recently, and the pastor preached, and he preached about, you know, this is nothing compared to what's next. And he spoke particularly about the car thing, because like, my car, I love my car. I am completely grateful, but that wasn't the car I was looking at, which is crazy. I love my car, and it's better. It's what I wanted. I realized I wasn't gonna get, and then I thought I was gonna get something rinky-dink, but I got something a lot better, you know. And God told me no more nickel and diming. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm going to be okay. And it's setting an expectation or setting a foundation for better. And it's like, I know that this blessing and this testimony, it's just God sitting there saying, hey, this is going to hold you over until the big one comes, you know? So for those of you who are waiting on God, who are sitting there saying, God, where are you? God is here. God is all around you. You just have to close your eyes and just listen to his voice. Trust it. Like, you're a testimony in the making. You're just in the test part. You know, it's hard, it's rough, it gets lonely. You're gonna cry, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna want to quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. I am surviving kidney failure. I am living with HIV. I am finally the most confident I've ever been in my life. And I don't look nothing like what I've been through or what I deal with on a regular basis. You can't see me and sit there and say, he goes to dialysis 3 days a week. Oh, he's HIV positive. Oh, he's dealt with this. You would never think that. That's God. That's not me. That is all him. So I just wanted to share that part of my story. I just wanted to share my testimony of what God did for me and what he's doing for me. And I am so grateful because God is placing new friends in my life to introduce me to new experiences, to show me what it's like to really live and be happy. And I have a great circle that keeps me grounded. And I'm just grateful for the places that he's taking me and my friends. So keep trusting God. Your breakthrough was going to come. And I always say one day closer, one day closer, one day closer. And you're one day closer, baby. Trust me. Because this right here that I'm experiencing is nothing. Nothing. So I just want to share my testimony. It's going to be another one on the way soon. I know, just give us a year or two. But other things going to be a bigger one. But, you know, I was released to say it. So this is my story. And this is my testimony. More to come. I love you all. I will see you next week. Keep your head up. You do what you do best. You keep watching, and I'm going to do what I do best and keep creating content. I love you all, and I will see you next Thursday for episode 9. Bye.